This episode of Trash Script is coming to you from Sunnyside Pizzeria in Sandy Springs, Georgia. Sunnyside is a neighborhood Italian eatery known for their pizzas, of course, but also other phenomenal Italian delicacies along with desserts and drinks. Sunnyside, eat your crusts. And they also let you print selfies on your cocktails here. We are currently sipping on espresso martinis that did have a Trash Script jersey on it. You can't really see it anymore because we've already drank it. But George, what's up? I'm Sudu. This is Georgia, by the way. I didn't do our normal introduction, but what's going on? You good?
Yeah, we're really excited to be here. Shout out to our friends at BRG, Evan, Tyron.
Born Rebel Group.
Shout
out the boys, Evan and Tyron.
But yeah, we're at Sunnyside, and I'm really excited. The food, they already brought out some appetizers. It's been amazing, and it's really fresh. It seems like, I mean, they have a lot of business, a lot of people coming in and out, and yeah, so far so good.
Phenomenal food, and just a little look-see for you here. This is what I mean by you can print on your cocktail. So if you have like a special occasion, maybe like an engagement dinner type vibe or your anniversary or something, you can like print a picture of you and your wife or, you know, your significant other or whatever you're here for, a birthday. So,
and Sudu and I were saying that these espresso martinis might
They might bump into our top five. So a couple episodes ago, we did a top 5 rankings for espresso martinis just throughout Metro Atlanta is what we said. And both of us have now decided that this could move into our top 3 potentially. For me, I think it's going to be number 3.
I think it's going to be number 2 for me because I can't get past you can literally print whatever you want on the top.
I mean, even more than just the novelty, that's obviously really cool.
Yeah.
And this is the only restaurant in Atlanta that does this, right?
Yeah. No, you cannot find this anywhere else. And I think this is what makes it unique. But more than that, obviously, you don't want it to just look good, but it still tastes good, too.
Right. It tastes phenomenal. It looks cool. And then, once again, the food here. So we have was this arugula with some prosciutto? Some
prosciutto.
Oh my God! You don't like that I pronounce the T's in my prosciutto.
And then
a little bit of cheese on there, some bruschetta.
Obviously, as you can see,
we've been going in.
We've been going in
since we walked in. The hospitality has been phenomenal. Our server. Do you know her name? Did you get her name? Do you remember it? Okay, so Georgia forgot.
I'm really bad at names.
Georgia clearly forgot her name. But no, clearly, we're very excited to be at Sunnyside. We've heard so much about it from our friends Evan and Tyron. And so to get to come in, they opened the doors for us. They wanted us here for the podcast. Super excited to be here. But what's up? Tell me about Love Island. So you went on Love Island, the pop-up at Park Tavern.
Yes.
Park Tavern.
Just to go with my friend.
Tell us about the process. I know there's tons of women out there, and men for that matter, that want to know what a Love Island casting is like. Please tell us.
So you go in, and we got, so it started at 2. We probably pulled up at like 2:10.
Yeah.
And we still had to wait in a line that was probably like an hour and a half long.
Yeah.
You get to the front of the line, you go in, in front of a camera, and you're like, hey, my name's Georgia Chambers. I'm 26. I'm from Omaha, Nebraska. And then you answer a prompt.
Mm-hmm. What was the prompt?
The one I chose was, do you have any special talents?
Oh, God. Georgia.
I do.
Georgia, what? Please, was it cringe? Is it going to make me cringe?
Yes, it is. So this is what I basically said. I was like, I'm an Emmy Award-winning sports reporter, and I happen to have a news voice.
Yeah. That
got me on an intro of a Rich Homie Quan song. And then I gave him a little tidbit.
So you did the news voice.
I did. I said, reporting live from Park.
Oh, God. You know, this is a personal pet peeve of mine. So
he hates it. The camera guy, he smiled. So
I mean, for a show like Love Island or something, that's cool. But my personal pet peeve, someone who's been in the news business for many years now, is this news voice that everybody has. So inflecting is one thing, right? You want to inflect. You want to make sure what you're saying is being understood by everyone listening. That's your job as a journalist and a presenter of information. But there's this da-da-da-da-da-da-da tone. And I know it was a trend on TikTok at one point. It's like, I'm going to put on my news voice. And I think that's just so corny and lame. Like, talk like yourself. When you go on TV, you don't want the person at home to think you're some news guy. You want them to think you're just a guy.
Right.
I'm
just a guy.
You're a person that's bringing them information. Why do we have to change our voices? My friends definitely tell me, like, you have a news voice, but that is just me inflecting. That is me pronouncing, because I do have a slight Southern drawl. Like, when I just kind of let go and I don't think about it.
Yeah.
I grew up in Mississippi, obviously. I've lived in the South my whole life, basically. So I definitely have a Southern drawl, and it comes out from time to time. But if I'm not actively thinking about it, That's what happens. But when I do think about it, that is what people call my news voice because I inflect better. That's fine. But just for like any young journalist out there, please don't think you have. And I'm currently working on this with my interns. I tell them,
he was working on this with me.
Even you, like you'd been a professional, you're a peer in the business. And I was like, Georgia, why do you change your voice?
He's like, just talk.
Talk like yourself, be conversational. It is like the biggest pet peeve of mine. And shout out to my media kind of coach in college, my professor, Nancy DuPont, God rest her soul. She was the one who told me that your job as a broadcast journalist is to sound conversational. It is not to sound like a version of a news anchor you think.
Well, and especially with sports, it's fun. So it's like, have fun with it. Well, but I feel like being a woman in sports, the difficult line that you navigate is you want to be yourself, you want to be conversational, but you also want to be taken serious. So I feel like sometimes with my news voice, I just want to make sure like when I'm talking, people are like, oh, she means business.
But I get that. But there's and you've obviously worked on it like it's gotten, you know, it's non-existent now. You know what I mean? Like I guess nobody had ever told you in your life, like, hey, Georgia, you're using a voice that is not your own voice.
Yeah.
Or people just think like that's what you're supposed to do. And no, it's not. You're supposed to inflect, obviously, but you're not supposed to change the way you sound because that's what Dan Rather spoke like all those years ago, or Lester Holt.
And I think, and that's a good point, is I think some people try and emulate other people in the business, but it's like there's never going to be another you out there. So just be yourself.
And it's okay to draw inspiration from people. I mean, I have tons of people that I look at and I'm like, wow, I like that they do this well or that well or whatever. But I've never taken the way I sound. I've never looked at someone else and said, I'm going to emulate that. It's always come to me naturally. Whatever I think is me, that's what I do. And I encourage peers, I encourage interns, anyone who asks for my opinion or help. The first thing I go after is the way they sound. Because guess what? Whenever I've applied for jobs or gotten jobs in the past or won whatever, awards, whatever it may be, one of the things is always, you sound X, you sound Y. And it's always like, you don't try to force the way you talk. And I think that's a huge deal. So not to get off on a completely different side tangent. Obviously that worked for you for Love Island. But if you are a journalist, like,
well, I wouldn't say it works
watching,
for me.
Just think about
it. I just went for fun with me and my friend. We're like, you know
so
what?
So like, what'd you get out of it? Like, what
some
like
free stuff.
Okay, tell us about the goodie bag. What do they give you? A Love Island?
You met other people. Like, it was just fun. The goodie bag was actually insane. Liquid IV, mouthwash. There was a dermatologist there. CeraVe products. Lip gloss.
What are they like? Backhandedly,
liner,
like
a bag.
That's
Peacock.
Was it just you, or was it everybody got the same thing?
No, everybody got one. Okay,
because I would have taken that personal. The dermatologist and CeraVe.
It's the dermatologist that's in. I don't know if you follow Love Island, but
I do not.
Cordell and Serena, they have a commercial, and there's a guy that we thought acted like a dermatologist. He was there, so everybody's like, "Oh, you're an actor." He was like, "No, I'm a dermatologist." But yeah, it was fun, and then we got some food after at Park Tavern.
Okay.
And
so just like a fun experience, but you don't think.
For fun.
So how do you even know if you're going to get casted?
Honestly,
like, how do they contact you?
Let me be real. I just don't think, if I were in a position to go on that show, I don't think that would be smart for me and my brand. There's some scenes of Love Island.
Yeah.
They had to like dress in leather, and I just don't know if I could do that.
So it's so funny. I don't know anything. I had to get you to explain Love Island to me the last episode.
I literally said it's an island where they try to find love.
So our coworker, or my coworker now, DJ, he asked me. He's like, "Bro, you watch this show?"
DJ watches it.
He asked me. He's like, "Do you watch this show? It's called Love Island." I was like, "No, dude." I was like, "But everybody watches it. Blah blah blah. I don't. Whatever." He's like, "Bro, my daughter watches that stuff. Bro, it's crazy." Bro, they are crazy.
It's crazy. The things they have to do, you just like...
He's like, they just kissing all the time. They stealing each other's like men and, people, blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, yeah, Shaq, that's not for me, bro.
Last night, one of the girls, Huda, she crashed out. Like poor, like crying like crazy, calling her man some bad names.
Not bad names.
But...
So that's what you wanted to do. You were trying to get on the show.
Again, going back, I just wanted to put myself out there and have fun.
Okay.
That's what your 20s are about.
And that's what you did.
Yeah, just having fun.
Turn up. Love it.
How was your weekend?
Weekend was good. I went to my first UFC event as a member of the press as well, which I did not realize was as cool as it is.
You were up close.
Bro.
You were right there.
Media seating at so I was at UFC Fight Night, Usman versus Buckley in Atlanta, State Farm Arena. The media seating is incredible. It is better than any other sporting event. I've covered a lot of sporting events, like a lot of big-time sporting events. Nothing can top the access you have at UFC. Literally cage side, front row. I mean, I'm watching Usman throw Buckley into the cage and like, you know, I'm like right there.
Yeah.
When they're celebrating and running off, I'm right there. It was absolutely incredible. And I've been like a big UFC fan, casual UFC fan, kind of back into it, kind of casual again. But after that experience, I think I'm back. I think I'm fully back in the UFC. I'm trying to go cover more of these events. I'm trying to get credentialed. I mean, they you know, this is the first time they came to Atlanta in 6 years, so I don't know if they're coming back to Atlanta anytime soon.
Yeah.
But whenever I get a chance, dude, I'm trying to go because it was awesome.
See, and I've never been to a UFC fight, but after hearing you and all of our other friends talk about it, I feel like that's on my bucket list because everybody, media or fans, I've heard from a lot of people and they said they had a blast.
The energy is just, especially if you're like cage side, like on the floor.
Yeah.
The energy is incredible. I mean, these dudes are, you know, some of the baddest dudes in the world. They're coming out with all this bravado and swagger and they're just beating each other to a pulp.
Honestly, it made me think, since I'm still unemployed and you said DJ probably isn't going to work for me, maybe I could get into like cage fighting. You think?
Yes, Georgia. I think cage fighting's a great idea for you. Good God.
At this point.
Georgia, stop. You're going to worry your poor mother. She's already so worried about
My
you.
mom actually said we need to stop talking about her on the podcast.
Really? She's like one of my favorite people to talk about.
Don't boost her.
Dude, she was wearing those shoes the other day on your story.
The red ones?
Miss Cheryl.
Okay.
Swag.
Don't tell her that because I was like, what are you? I said, please take those off. And she goes, no, they're trendy.
They're trendy.
But I will say a lot of people swiped up and said they're trendy. She's a trendsetter.
Your mom, she realized. So the first time I met your mom, she was wearing these jeans, dude. I thought they were the coolest jeans.
She said, why were you obsessed with the pants?
I was like, Miss Cheryl, those jeans. I was like, those are some. I was like, people pay a lot of money for those. And she was just like, yeah, I got them at like a resale TJ Maxx or something. I was
Shout
like,
out to my mom.
I was like, you. I mean, she had more swagger than you that day. I'll just tell you that. You had a black eye. You were in like
that was a day after my birthday.
You were in like a hoodie sweatsuit.
It was.
And your mom was just swagged out.
You know what? I was recovering.
From what? Tell us what were you recovering from?
Happy birthday.
Your birthday, in which you woke up the next day with a black eye and had no idea how you got it.
I had a black eye.
Do we still not know how that happened? You didn't get in a fight. You don't remember anybody bumping into you, running into you.
The only thing I can think about was one of the guys that was in the section tripped and fell.
Yeah.
And I think
you might have caught an elbow and you just don't remember it.
I had glasses on, so I think it was like one of those.
It was also funny because I show up to her house. Georgia is not in a good place. So I bring her like a bunch of electrolytes. We're all like hop in this car to go to her parents' house to do the birthday thing. It's me and like 3 other friends in the car, right?
Yeah.
And like on the way there, we're all trying to come up with ways like, okay, how can we hide the black eye from her parents for the longest amount of time? And just kind of slowly broach the subject and just because they're your parents, they're going to worry. Like, why do you have a black eye? And so we come up with this game plan. Okay, we're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to kind of ease them into it. We're going to sort of get the vibes going before Georgia literally walks into the house, throws her sunglasses off. I got a black eye. And your poor dad, I mean, I think your mom sort of like expects this stuff from you. Your poor father, man. I remember the look on his face, and I just remember being like, Georgia, why are you doing this?
But I do that with you too. Like one time, like he walked in, like first thing, like opens the door, and I just tell him something. I'm a very open person.
Yeah, it's not. It was something I was like, you don't need to tell me that, mate. I don't need to know that. Like, keep it to yourself.
With my best friends, I'm very transparent, and
your parents. I just think I think it's with everybody.
I don't know. My mom listens to these episodes and say, maybe I don't know you as much as I thought I did.
Yeah, well, I don't know. As open as you are, I'm shocked that that's the case. But anyways, long story short, how do we get on your birthday again? Oh, cage fighting. Yeah, no cage fighting for Georgia. No cage fighting for Georgia.
We don't think that's a potential career.
I do not. But no, that was awesome. And then a huge thank you for this, by the way. So I walk in for the podcast today, and our server, I guess Georgia had her surprise me, gets me this, brings me this gift bag. In it are Dots Pretzels, Ruffles, and Pepsi Zero because snacks of choice. So I won my first Emmy.
Yes.
So we actually had this discussion earlier, and she had to sort of pry it out of me. So now I'm just going to be open about it. Won my first Southeast Emmy this weekend. Georgia already has one, so she's better than me, or whatever. But it was really cool on Saturday.
Well deserved.
Thank you. The show Bulldogs now that I've produced and co-hosted for the last couple years. And shout out my co-host, DJ Shockley. Rusty Manziel, huge part of our show. Cody Jacques, who does Steadicam for us, lighting, jack of all trades. Tim Graham, who's our Timothy Graham, actually. And that's what it says on the entry. Our director, Leslie Wellner, who fills in for him from time to time. My dog, Cameron, Brooke, Rob.
It takes a village.
I mean, so many incredible people that, help. My girl, Shaq Diesel. Incredible amount of people that, help the show become what it is. And our friends at Georgia Bulldog Sports Marketing, Alan, Audra Richards, Chris Gilmore, Caitlin Hamel. Like, there's so many people that help create a show. And you can only have, 4 names on an entry.
Yeah.
But,
there's so many more than that. Well, and I think, too, with Emmys, of course it's nice to be recognized, but that's not what we do it for.
Right.
We
of
do
course.
it, we love what we do, but it's nice to be rewarded and shown, hey, you're doing really well.
Well, and especially, at the local news level, there isn't really, I feel like once you get to sort of network and stuff, there's, I don't know, there's ways to quantify, success a lot better. These awards are, there's bigger awards and other publications recognize people for the work that they do. I think at our level, you don't even get that really from your bosses oftentimes. You don't really get hey, you're doing great. And I don't mean you need a pat on the back or a clap or something. I mean, just to let you know, we like what you're doing. Because sometimes you're is this good? I don't know. Once you do it long enough, you know what's good or not, right? But for me, more than anything about creating content, it's the people that it's meant for coming to you to tell you that they like it.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing with our show that I get when I go to Athens. People don't know, but DJ Shockley, SEC championship winning quarterback for Georgia. He's known in every county in the state of Georgia.
He could walk in here and probably 3 people would go up to him.
3 or 4 people would go take a picture and talk to him, right? So people approach him all the time, and we love the show, whatever. But me, I'm just a random broadcast journalist who does the show.
Who's won an Emmy.
So for people to come up and be hey, we know you from the show. We really love the show. That's my Emmy, really.
Yeah,
and
true.
We've gotten that. But now you add this to the mix, and any kind of recognition is cool. You get a cool little trophy. Obviously, trophies are fun. And so that's I think the neatness of it.
Well, and too, if somebody sees the trophy, obviously they're going to ask for the story behind it, and then it brings up the good memories of.
Right.
Yeah, there's going to be some long nights, but it's much more than that, and it brings you closer to a lot of different people that you otherwise wouldn't have met.
And you won one for a show that you did when you were, at my current employer, and you know, obviously, what goes into it. It's a lot of late nights and hard work.
For sure.
For me, this show in particular, I came in 2022, 2023 rather. And I had 4 days to create 2 shows from scratch. Only things that were decided were the names, some of the graphics, some of the music. That was it.
Yeah.
It was hey, you have 4 days to create 2 shows from scratch.
Look at what it's become from that.
And it became a passion. I remember, you remember that. I think you had started by then, or maybe not, but I was sick when I first started. And I had to get a friend to bring me medicine, because I didn't even have time to go to an urgent care, and grind it and worked 18-hour days to start these shows. And then it sort of became a passion project almost. It's my job, but it also just kind of became everything.
Yeah.
Trying to get it going. And once it got going and rolling, once you get into a rhythm, but to be recognized for something you put so much work into is a big deal. So I think that's the best part of it. And that's all I'll say about it.
Well, and for me, I left a full-time job to take a seasonal position with Fox 5. Was I not supposed to say that?
Well, it's fine.
I was a Falcons reporter. We produced shows, did all that. But I left a full-time job to come here. So to be able to win my first Emmy in a position where I didn't have the most ideal situation, to me, that was, it was just confirmation that I made the right decision. So but again, we're not doing it for the awards or the recognition. We're doing it because we love what we do. But it's nice to have some pretty hardware to show off.
No doubt. And I can't wait to, we're going to do a whole segment on the show this week. I'm really excited about it.
Nice.
To get to actually just thank the viewers as well. That to me, that's a big deal. So
congrats again.
Thank you.
Well deserved.
Thank you for the gifts, and shout out my boy Miles as well, our friend Miles.
Sweet Miles.
He got me a cake the other day, and Pepsi Zero. People just love buying me Pepsi Zero. I have a problem.
You do. He's obsessed.
Maybe one day they can sponsor the podcast.
Oh, that would be great.
Trashy Script brought to you by Pepsi Zero.
We'll tag them.
Yeah.
Why
maybe.
not?
So we'll see what happens.
Have you been keeping up with some baseball? College World Series?
A little bit of baseball. Brody from Arkansas, Wood, 19 strikeouts.
third no-hitter in College World history. Last one was in 1960.
1960. How old were you in 1960, Georgia?
Not even. My parents were born. I wasn't even.
My parents weren't even born.
I was a very, very distant thought. Oh, your parents weren't born?
No, my parents are born in the late 60s.
Oh, thanks for making me feel bad.
It's okay. You're younger than me, so you're like, you know.
Oh, yeah. That's
your parents are just older than my parents, but you're still younger than me.
But yeah,
so you got that.
College World Series, and then also, so Arkansas, LSU, only SEC teams.
Isn't that crazy?
In the College World Series this year,
it's kind of
really
wild.
crazy.
The SEC had a bad showing in the college, or just in the NCAA tournament.
But great for you. Said you don't really like Arkansas though.
Arkansas is kind of an annoying baseball program.
I'm cheering for the SEC team, so go LSU.
I hate
Arkansas.
LSU because I went to Ole Miss. It's just a rivalry, and it's like a one-sided rivalry. Like Ole Miss people feel that way.
Oh my goodness. Let's clear some
What is
room.
this?
So this is the carbonara. It's fresh egg yolks and freshly shaved Parmesan, some fried pancetta on top. And then we've got the chicken piccata as well.
Chicken piccata.
Thank you so
Perfect. Thank
much.
you. I think we'll be good.
We'll be good.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness.
All right, y'all. So chicken carbonara.
Obviously, all
chicken
their pasta
piccata.
made fresh every day. They also have some gelato ice cream made fresh.
I'm just gonna go in.
Right in.
I'm just going
he
in,
said,
mate.
I don't need no little plate.
I'm going in, mate.
Oh my goodness, guys. I'm gonna try not to be messy with this.
Did you move my plate over there?
Just eat. Oh my. Yo. Hold on.
Whoa.
You know, I forgot to mention they also have wings here. Evan suggested the wings.
Really?
He said they're really good. So they have it all. You wouldn't think like an Italian spot would have like.
Is that mine?
Oh my goodness.
Will you bring it back?
Sweet, sweet child.
Thank you. I was not done with this. Oh man.
My bad.
Appreciate that.
Oh wow. This looks amazing.
Guys, a Sunnyside Pizzeria in Sandy Springs. Let me tell you.
You got to check it out.
Phenomenal.
Like the service, the drinks, the food. What is this little ham on it? I'm just going in on this one.
Piccata?
One thing about me is I like to eat.
There's no doubt about that.
Okay, this is going to be so messy.
All right, so this is the chicken piccata.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Which one's your favorite? Let me try this one.
Honestly,
Guys.
both are really good. Carbonara is really creamy. I like how rich it is. But the piccata's got like a, it's got a little little lemon.
It's a tangy.
The little tart, tanginess.
I'm sorry, but.
I think I prefer that. No, just go for it, mate.
Oh, wow.
What you think? Which one?
I kind of like, because it has that little lemon zest.
Also, dude, every time I take a sip of this espresso martini, it's just...
I love it even more.
It might go... I might replace... Dude, Mid-City is in trouble right now. Mid-City is in trouble right now in the rankings.
Here, Sunnyside espresso martinis won't miss. Sorry, guys. We had to take a brief intermission so we could eat.
Sorry. The food got the best of us. Brief intermission here.
He was like splattering me with pasta juice.
That is not true. Like, a little pasta juice might have flown a little somewhere, but the food was so good. Had to take a brief intermission. But we were talking about the College World Series.
Yes.
Obviously, huge deal for the Arkansas kid. But let's talk about the Jell-O shots. I want to talk about the Jell-O shots. All right, LSU set a record back in 2023. I think it's like 68,888 plus
LSU
Jell-O
is in
shot.
second place, but it's like 17,000. So
LSU's in second right now?
Yes.
Who's number one?
Well, no, talking like all-time record.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Number two.
Ole
but
Miss,
yeah, we'll pull up the numbers of
Ole Miss back. I do remember when we were there in 2022. We got lit. I told you, Ole Miss fans, we all bond over our sorrows with alcohol.
These are the current numbers. So LSU by a lot, 17,746.
Yeah.
And then second place, goodness, would be Murray State with 7,293.
Dude, a heck of a season for them. They obviously lost, and the Arkansas.
UCLA, come on, 1,233.
Those the West Coast kids
The
are
West
probably
Coast
they're
kids
probably
gotta
staying
do
away
better.
from Jell-O shots.
It's only $5.
I don't even know how many of them are traveling. You know what I mean?
True.
To Omaha for the College
But if
World
Ole
Series.
Miss would have made it, sorry.
Ole Miss would have 100% given
you would've
LSU a run for
traveled.
their money.
Well,
I would have been there.
you
I would have
would've
tried to
been
be there. But Murray State took that title took that spot from us and didn't even make the most of it.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's gonna beat that record anytime soon.
No, I mean, shout out, like Louisiana turns up. We've talked about it on the podcast. No one's more lit than Louisiana.
And they're showing that
They're
over
gonna
at
have
the College World Series.
They're gonna have, if they're in it, which I don't want them to be because I'm an Ole Miss guy. I don't like LSU. But if they are, they might break that 68,000.
Last year, Livy Dunn was up there. She went over and bought shots.
Yep.
Like, it's a big deal. When you go to the College World Series, you got to check out Rocco's. And buy some Jell-O shots.
Rocco's is the move.
Do you like Jell-O shots?
I do. I mean, not anymore. I don't really partake anymore.
He's 30.
Because I'm an old man now, and I don't. No, of course. Who doesn't love Jell-O shots, dude? It's so easy. It's so dangerous is really what it is.
Because it tastes just, it's like
So
Jell-O.
in college, like obviously we would have you went to an SEC school. I mean, all the fraternities, you would have these big field parties and, I mean, Jell-O shot, like you could not turn without somebody giving you a Jell-O shot, right? And I just remember like you'd take 4 and it's like, you don't know who's really making it. It's honestly kind of dangerous, kids. So be careful out there. But back when I was in school, reckless abandon, right? And you just like, but these kids were making them out of like Everclear and like just making them extremely strong. So you'd have like 4 of those things and you're set.
We're not condoning this.
I am not in any shape or form condoning this behavior.
We're condoning espresso martinis at Sunnyside and the food.
Yes, but I am in no way, shape, or form telling you to take Jell-O shots. As a matter of fact, don't do it. Just to be on the safe side. I'm trying to tell you to learn from my mistakes. That's what I'm really trying to do. That's going to be me as a parent.
And we like, listen here. We'll do a story time of my childhood. This is what I want you to learn from me.
Exactly.
Yeah, same with me.
I am going to just be telling them legendary stories, and then I'm going to be like, but don't do that.
You just want them to go around being like, yeah, I got a cool dad.
Yeah, pretty much. My dad's pretty cool, so like I'd like to take that mantle next whenever it is that I have kids. But anyways, yeah, it's been a fun week though, huh? UFC fight for me. The Emmy was cool. Coming here to kind of begin the new week. So with that in mind, as is tradition on this podcast as of late, let's do our high-low buffaloes of, I guess, last week to today. So you can kind of give a wide range to pick from.
Okay. My high would be last week a good friend of mine, Hal, invited me with his family to the beach. And I got to go to St. Simon's. They had an Airbnb that was right by the beach, had a pool.
Nice.
That was my high. My low, got ghosted by some potential employers.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Still struggling,
That's
but
rough.
it's okay.
You'll
staying
get there.
Positive. And then my buffalo was probably being able to do this again. Like shout out to our friends Evan, Tyron. Sunnyside's been great and good food.
Yeah, phenomenal food.
Great conversation.
Great conversations. Yeah. For me, I guess the high was winning the Emmy.
Yeah,
it's a cool accomplishment.
That might be high of the year.
High of the year. The low was my 2 really close coworkers and friends not winning, despite them having phenomenal work that was nominated. And sometimes we can get into a whole story about how these things are voted on and whatever, but it sort of made me feel like my accomplishment was minimized because I was like, they didn't win and they deserved it. So that was kind of the low. The buffalo was the media seating at the UFC event. I did not know we were going to be that close to cage side. Phenomenal event. Got to see Kamaru Usman make his return and win against Buckley, who is a very feared competitor. So just a phenomenal week. And you know what? I'll even throw a buffalo in for this, man. Like, I obviously heard so many great things about Sunnyside, but to actually get to come here, sit down, try this phenomenal food, the phenomenal drinks, and be blown away by it.
I think it's safe to say we'll be back.
We will 100% be back. We hope you guys will check it out as well. Absolutely phenomenal place. And like Georgia said, I mean, the pizzas is really what they're known for, but clearly they have carbonara, piccata, I mean, bruschetta.
So our friend Evan said the wings, you got to try the wings.
The wings.
The wings are really good. Honestly, I feel like this is a place, there's few places that you can go and order something and not be disappointed, but so far everything
is fresh. I'll give you guys that. Everything here is very fresh.
The gelato right behind us. You see some people getting it now.
May have to get some on the way out, a little limoncello on the way out. But yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in for another episode of Trash the Script. Remember, it's okay to trash the script.